What I want you to think about, it's not about the experience that you have with the internship that you're trying to do. You're not trying, so a cover letter, it has nothing to do with demonstrating your own experiences and what you are good and not good at. I want you to get that out of your mind, that a cover letter is sort of demonstrating what you are about. That's completely the wrong information that you should be focusing on, even though that's probably the common advice that most people give and talk about. It has nothing to do with you. What you should be talking about with your cover letter to get a position of where you want to go to, wherever you want to do. And I've had okay success with this. Again, with a lot of these, right, with cover letters, you have to apply to a lot of different places. But when I applied this kind of mindset and this mentality, it really cuts down in terms of the places that I have to apply to, or that I've applied to in the past, and that increase my success dramatically. And this is really thinking about the other person or the other entity, and thinking about what they do well and what they don't do well, right? So in the cover letter, you're not talking about yourself in any sort of way. What you're doing is you're giving sort of flattering information about the other person, the other entity. So if you can sort of go through with a cover letter or some sort of research statement or whatever statement you're trying to do, is what you're trying to do is highlight how you know this other company or this other, maybe it's a professor or maybe it's a volunteer organization. You want to detail what they are doing well to a large extent. You're really impressed with them. So for me, if you're writing to me personally, I'd be really impressed if you read my work and you said that I really liked X, Y, and Z kind of information that you've done. This is really amazing stuff. But I noticed that there's this one specific area that I would like you to improve on. And then you write, this is how I think I can actually improve on this one particular area. So for example, maybe you notice that I don't do a lot of, maybe it's machine learning or something like that. Or maybe it is maybe I'm not a very good writer or something like that. But you have to be very, very nice with how you say it, right? So you point out that, your ideas are wonderful, but there's this one critical aspect that I think you can actually do, and it's the sort of writing that you're doing. And I think I can do a really good job of building on this and making it so much better, because this is my sort of few skills, and you sort of list the 1, 2, and 3 skills, and then or the things that you've learned, and say, this is how I can improve it. This is what I would do given your circumstance. So what you're trying to do, if you think about it, what you're trying to do is actually frame in the other person's mind, and you're flattering the other person, right? And you're not talking about yourself in any sort of way. What you're talking about is the other person. And, you're really getting into the door that way, because then it lets me know that you actually understand what you're trying to get, what you're getting into. And then it also sort of communicates that you gave some thought on what you're trying to do and where you're going, right? So you're well aware of the strengths and weaknesses of this particular business or whatever it is that you're trying to get into, and you can speak to that, and you could speak very well to that, right? That's a critical thing. And in fact, that's what you would do if you were getting in higher levels in a company, for example, or you're getting higher level positions, say a CEO. What they'd want you to do is sort of communicate where you see the company going. It's not about them at all. It's not about the particular applicant. It's where you think the company's going to go. And that's how you actually get those positions that are sort of cherished, right? And then the other thing I wanted to point out, so this is really all about, okay, so you don't have any experience, right? And you're thinking about yourself, well, how do I actually apply or write a cover letter for a particular internship? I have no experience in that particular area. Well, go out and get it. That's all you have to do. And it's really easy often to get this experience that you are probably overestimating the degree of getting this particular experience. Pick up a book, just read about a particular topic, right? Go and dig deep about this one particular area. It really doesn't, maybe it takes a weekend to read up and becomes a pseudo expert in a particular area just by digging deep and reading about, maybe you're interested in becoming an engineer or an accountant. Well, pick up a book and start reading about what it's like to be an accountant. The other thing that you could do, and I know that there's some positions that this is a little bit tricky to do, but you can actually create your own little entity. You can create your own entrepreneurial thing to actually do some of this stuff to help out other people. That's how most people get into the really good jobs, is that they have a little thing that they're trying to do, to sort of, a little business or something like that to get in a particular area. So maybe you want to get into the finance industry, right? You want to get into Wall Street. Well, you go there and you would have to go to Wall Street, right? And then you would maybe create a sort of small entity where you were maybe doing, I don't know, cleaning for the Wall Street positions, at offices, or getting out there and just doing something really menial that you would never sort of estimate what that is. And you start, dressing really nicely and properly, and you start showing that you're amazing. Pretty soon people are going to pick up that you are a very credible person. It's going to take a little bit of time, right? It might take you 6 months to sort of get to that point, but you can start working on that right now so that you can actually have that experience going forward. It's pretty easy to do this kind of stuff. Most people are not going to do it. And then, you know what? Maybe it doesn't pan out, that particular thing that you did, but then you could write that on your resume. Like, look at this thing that I created, and nobody else has done that. And this is really unique and different. And that's how you actually build that sort of line on your CV that you did that kind of thing. It's pretty, it seems pretty obvious once you start talking about it, but most people are not going to do it. I guarantee those people that watch this video, there's probably only going to be, if there's thousands of people that watch this video, which probably is not, but if there is thousands of people, there's probably only going to be a couple of people that are going to take me up on this advice and sort of implement something and do something and build their resume that way. And, by doing that, they're going to be able to get their foot in the door, or they're going to sort of get an experience that they would never have before and understand that, ooh, I don't want to do that, or I do want to do that. You just have to get out there and do it. It doesn't have to be really all that important, but just kind of doing these kind of little things and building your experience by doing that, that really is going to help you out. And it's going to allow you to actually write a cover letter where you actually do have experience, right? And you have experience than most people that are going to be applying to that particular position. It's pretty obvious once you start thinking about it. Just do it, get out there and get it done, and then demonstrate how you can help the other person in some sort of way.